Golden viewers of gold, it is true that we are living in a world of three C's, accelerating change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. The competition out there is tough and rough, so that is why we need to put our trust in God. When we put our trust in God, it means we have faith in God. When we have faith in God, we are ready to face the world. Some people are looking up to you. Be strong for them. Don't disappoint them. Let us be a great example for our family, our friends, and our fans. We are on gold. Let's go for gold.
Today on Gold.
The greatest glory of living lies not in never falling, but rising up every time we fall. Our champions don't give up, they get up after falling. So do all you can to be a champion. And if you need some tips, here is the trick of the trade from our champion of the day. Be inspired to be a true champion. Let's go. She is an amazing woman with a heart full of love and empathy. She certainly wants our world to be better than the way it is. All she cares about is how to serve and to show the right path to others. Lynda is not only kind, she is too kind. Her major and unique message is, know who you are. She took a lot from meeting Madiba, and all she wants in life for all of us is to strive to be better, do better, and leave this world a better place by impacting our world positively, for we serve nobody by playing small. From nursing to non-profit organization to coaching, mentoring, and speaking, she is helping people to live a meaningful life. A champion is here.
Hello viewers, I'm so delighted to be here, to be on Gold, and I'm really looking forward to sharing any wisdoms that I can with you and which would benefit you. I've always been known to be kind. In fact, my daughter tells me I'm too kind. And kindness can sometimes be perceived as a weakness, and yet it's actually a very gentle strength that one does have. And there's actually a lovely saying, and that is that cruelty can be expected from the weak, but only the strong are kind. So I've always had this kindness, and it's always been about serving, like entering a service profession. If I had been able to get the bursary to do medicine, I would have been in the service profession of medicine. I decided to enter to do nursing, and then to enter non-profit organizations where we were saving children's lives that had cardiac problems. And then on to coaching, where I can make a difference using my wisdom and experience that I've gained over the past 35 years that I've been working, and taking people to getting that unstuckness to help them to move forward and to make good decisions, and decisions that are aligned, because sometimes we think we want to do something, but our heart may not be in it. And then we don't know what action to take. So you've heard these expressions, my heart's not in it, or my gut is telling me. So it's also bringing alignment as to what are we thinking, what are we feeling, and what is it that we want to do. So also helping people to find their purpose in life, because I've definitely lived a life of purpose. Meeting Madiba. So for the first time that I ever met Madiba, he had come to the hospital that I was working at the time to undergo some oncology treatment. And I was given the privilege of being the person to meet and greet him and lead him into the center. And as he stepped out the car, I didn't realize how tall he was actually, because he's a tall man. And I said, he took my hand and I shook it, and I said, such an honor to meet you. And he said, oh no, my dear, the honor's all mine. And I just thought, wow, the humility. And he was late for his appointment because stopped to greet every single person in the waiting room, which is natural. That's what he does. And then that was 1999. And then I had the privilege of being asked to lead the Walter Sisulu Pediatric Cardiac Foundation, of which he was the patron. So I was really fortunate to have tea with him twice a year, very often accompanied by Albertina Sisulu. And this was after Walter Sisulu's death in 2003. And what I loved is he was so real and so authentic. And every time we walked into his office to have the tea, he had a big picture of Walter Cecilia on his wall, a big photograph. And Walter, as you know, was his mentor and walked the journey with him. And he would always say, "Oh, I see Walter is with us today." And it was just so lovely, And then also the stories of the struggle, the stories of what he personally had been through, also with Albertina's history and her sharing with me. She was a nurse in her profession, and so we had a resonation there with me being a nurse too, and then that was my role to actually raise money and educate on the continent as well as locally to save children with cardiac defects that would otherwise die, and also to do training throughout Africa so that we could elevate the quality of care in Africa and education of nurses as to how can they nurse pediatric children with cardiac diseases. Moving from throughout my career from the service nursing profession to the non-profit and making a difference there, I will always be linked with non-profit. There will always be a program that I will be involved with. And in these last 6 years, it has been a lot about coaching and mentoring and youth, coaching and mentoring youth. It's also been about teaching educators how to become coaches, because our students all need encouragement and they all need help with their focus and their sense of purpose in life. So I will always be involved in that. On a personal level for me, in the later years of my life now, is to reach as many people as I can, and people love face-to-face, but COVID showed us we can reach people on Zoom and Teams and whatnot. So it's engaging with as many people that I can who feel stuck and don't know what their purpose is. And some don't even know. And it's one of the questions is, who are you? And especially for our youth, if you don't know who you are and you don't know which values you're living by, you are not giving yourself almost a rudder that you steer yourself by, because you won't compromise on the values that are most important to you. And that gives people an internal locus of control versus all the external forces that are impacting our societies at the moment. I mean, we have, since COVID, there's been the economic and social impact of that. We've had increases in unemployment. Unemployment is at an all-time record high. We also have seen an increase in gender-based violence and domestic violence. And it really is, when we are stressed, it's natural as human beings. It's just the response that we do have is, the more we are stressed and we don't manage that stress, the less we have the ability to be empathetic. So my goal, and especially the way leadership, or what I believe and I subscribe to what leadership needs in this day and age, is to become more connected with their teams and their employees, to make them feel more valued and seen and heard. So it's about inclusivity, it's about embracing diversity, and it's also about becoming empathetic leaders.
Our lovely golden viewers of gold, refuse to die until you have won some victories for humanity. I say refuse to die until you have done some major contributions to humankind. Let us go for an inspiring break on gold. We are certainly coming back. Don't go nowhere. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. All you need is a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Yes, the major purpose of human life is to contribute in some ways in making things better. Please, let your heart be golden and help somebody today.
You Feed Them started during the COVID pandemic, and we're a registered NPC that is dedicated on reaching out to communities that are really struggling to get by, more so the underprivileged. And how we actually got down to engaging such communities is what we were seeing on TV, what we were seeing around our communities, and that's where poverty seems to be on a constant rise. And with that, we saw the great need of trying to do something in trying to help and make a difference. And so the very start of this organization was based on the words of Jesus taken from the Bible. And it was a situation whereby there were multitudes of people and there was not enough food to feed these people. And so some of the workers of Jesus said to Jesus, send them away because we can't care for them. But Jesus said, no, you feed them. And he performed a miracle and ultimately everyone ate that day. And so that's the motivation for this organization, is that there is a need out there. And sometimes I think we want to push it aside. We want to look past it. But I think we can make a difference. And we don't want to reinvent the wheel. What we do is partner with existing organizations. And there are many people that's doing great work out there. Unfortunately, they are under-resourced and they can't meet the needs that they want to meet. And so we sort of partner with them in a sense that we try and supply the needs in where they are lacking. So two of the major achievements I could say that You Feed Them has definitely been impactful in. Recently, we had the KZN floods, and that brought a whole lot of devastation to that province. And so here we are in Gauteng, and we're a small organization reaching out to organizations within our reach, basically. So the challenge was put to us as to how can we make a difference in KZN, even though it's another province. And that was amazing how everyone came together. We managed to get resources, tons of resources with food and water and so forth. And we went down to KZN, in particular Tongat, where they had their water infrastructure was damaged. It was, they had no water. So people were really struggling with water. And so people came together here in Gauteng. We all came together for one purpose, and that was to go and make a difference out in KZN. And so we managed to do that, and it was a huge success, so much so that in 1 month we managed to do that twice. The other way in which I think we are making a difference in our community is reaching the homeless. So we have a lot of homeless people, especially in the Windsor East area. And even there's unemployment, which is on a constant rise. There's a lot of people unemployed, drug addiction being the other huge factor in this community. And so we reach out to such people. We feed them, obviously. But also we try to get those who are caught up in drug addiction into rehabilitation centers. And further to that is we try to then connect them to their families so that they can go back home and not back to the streets. People need hope. But I want to tell you that there's always hope. I can relate to coming from a bad past, a past where I struggled as a person. I struggled a bit with drugs. I left school when I was in Stanton at 8. People didn't think much of me. I used to be the sort of guy who used to hang around in the corner with no hope, no future. And that's how I thought my life would be. But as time went by, I realized, and again, that's through my faith, that there is more to life. And, today I can say that I've achieved much, and it's through having a spirit of perseverance, of not giving up. I think sometimes we give up too easily. But we should never give up. We should be steadfast in wanting to achieve what we want to achieve. And so through my perseverance and through the grace of God, I finished my studies at the Baptist Theological College, and I graduated with an honors degree. I'm now a qualified chaplain who's working with the police and the paramedic service. I'm the chairman of Northwest Christian School, which is a wonderful school. And doing the work that I'm doing, the founder of You Feed Them, and reaching out to communities. So my encouragement is the sky's the limit. We need to stop looking down on ourselves and look at how much of opportunity there is out there. And you can achieve if you put your mind to it. And the thing is, no one's gonna wait on you and give you opportunities. You need to reach out and grab those opportunities for yourself and have the mindset of saying, I can do all things, because we can do all things if we are steadfast and if we do not give up. So my wish for goal is to continue doing what you're doing. Continue to reach and aim for great heights. Continue to aim for something because you are sure to hit it. And just doing what you guys are doing is an inspiration to me, for example. as a founder of an NPC, it encourages me to know that, gold is actually acknowledging this. And we don't do it for acknowledgement, but it's good to have partnerships. Two hands is better than one. And so I think what Gold TV is doing is very influential, and it can be more influential the more we are exposed to this. And I think Gold TV is doing a wonderful job in bringing out organizations like the little organizations that I spoke of, in referencing them so that we could again make a bigger impact. I mean, if people don't see, how will they know?
Our heroes and sheroes, our kings and queens, our leaders and champions will inspire you to be the best of whoever you want to be. Be inspired and turn your failures to success. Let's go with it.
Roman Abramovich, Russian business tycoon and former owner of Chelsea Football Club, Roman Abramovich was born into poverty. After being orphaned at the age of 3, Abramovich entered the business world during his army service. He first worked as a street trader and then as a mechanic at a local factory. He has set up a charity called the Pole of Hope to continue to help the people of Chukotka. In 2019, he personally donated $5 million to the non-profit group, the Jewish Agency for Israel, to combat anti-Semitism globally. Giving back is the key to life. Abramovich is the largest single donor to the organization. Thank you for giving.
When you get up every morning with determination, you will go to bed every night with satisfaction. And with that, you will shake the world in your own gentle way. That is my golden view. Your views are golden too.
Hello, my name is Nakedi Clement Mahutru. I think the way to be successful in life, you need to have a good mindset. If you have a good mindset, it's better to deal with challenges in life, because if you have a good mindset, you'll believe that failing is part of success, because when you fail, you actually learning from your mistakes, then you can be able to overcome your obstacles.
Let us go for another beautiful break on gold. When we come back, we'll dare to do the undone. We're still on gold. Everyone falls, but the only difference is that champions get up. And if you want to be the greatest, you will face great tests. And if you need a champion, become one, just like our champion of the day, because you must fulfill the requirements of your own requirements.
3-minute wisdom to our viewers is based on our stress levels that we know have risen. The suicide rate has risen, the unemployment rate has risen, the gender-based violence has risen. I would say, ask yourself the question, who are you? Who are you truly? Because the more self-aware we are, the more we can actually ask ourselves and get an accurate self-assessment of where we are in our life, the more that leads to being able to be more self-motivated, and you need that self-motivation to become an entrepreneur and find a niche in the market that you can make a difference in, make a living from. It's also about our self-esteem, because I think self-worth and self-esteem, it's a universal issue that's actually been one of the social scientists that I really admire is Dr. Brené Brown, and a lot of her research is around this, am I good enough? And it really is about the more you know yourself, the more you regulate your own behavior, the more you get to know others, because we know others through empathy. We're able to mentally put ourselves into another's shoes. We might not have experienced what they have, but just having that supportive, empathetic ear, sometimes we don't have to take action on behalf of someone else, but just giving them an opportunity to be heard. It makes them feel appreciated, it makes them feel respected. And so getting to know yourself, getting to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes, to be empathetic towards them, that requires us to listen deeply, to understand, not to respond with what we're already thinking going on in our heads as we are listening to their stories and their circumstances, and also to find your purpose in life. And the earlier you can find your purpose in life, the more you'll intentionally set goals for yourself. So if I knew back then what I know now, I realized I could have made many more intentional choices. And so what I'd like to impart is the sooner you get to know yourself, the sooner you know what your values are, the sooner we can live an intentional life of purpose. And we have the power of choice. So that's Viktor Frankl's work, and it is about finding meaning. And between any stimulus out there and any response we want to give, there is a gap. And in that gap, we can choose joy and we can choose growth. So continually develop yourselves, continuously read, continuously find people who inspire and mentor you. Choose a mentor that can actually really is prepared to be the role of the mentor, which requires investing time. Find yourself a coach if you're feeling stuck, because coaching is about taking you from where you are to where you would like to be. What are your goals? What's your current reality? What's the obstacles in your way? And have you explored as many options as you can? Because often we get blinkered, and we get blinkered in the fear of, can I do this? Am I capable? I don't know what I want to do. How will I know what I want to do? And then planning a way forward as to how you're going to deliver on those goals that you want for yourself. There's a business model that I came to know in 2013, which is take an issue and put it front and center and bring everybody who could actually have we can call them stakeholders, but anybody who has an interest in that issue that can actually speak out and advocate and have a voice. So don't let fear hold you back about what you have to say is unimportant or insignificant. It's not. But we often hold ourselves back because of fear, intimidation, judgment. So I'm going to come back to kindness. The more we can have loving kindness and we just stop judging ourselves and stop judging others, the more we can actually get to this collective consciousness of awareness and kindness and shifting and helping each other up. Giving a hand up, not a hand out. The old adage of, teach someone to fish, they can eat for a day. Give someone a fish they can eat for a day. Teach someone to fish they can eat for a lifetime is all about that. So it's about care. And we speak about, what are we guided by? Faith, hope, and love. And that's certainly what I hold valuable to me. And we need more of that in the world. So Mr. Mandela, Dr. Mandela, has a whole lot of quotes, as you know, and I actually have a little book down there, which he signed for me, that captured a lot of the quotes that he was saying. But the one that, for me, it's also people that I admire, like Maya Angelou and Mother Teresa, and, people who lived a life of purpose like Nelson Mandela did, and to quote him, and it's not verbatim, but it is along the lines of, we serve nobody by playing small. So if you can't find the biggest audacious goal for yourself, okay, and you're content to just diminish yourself and play small, who are we serving actually? We're certainly not serving ourselves, and we're not serving others. So find your big, hairy, audacious goal and the dream that you want to have for yourself, and go for it.
My lovely golden viewers of gold, listen to me carefully. True happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. That was a beautiful one from Helen Keller. Your fidelity should be towards a worthy purpose. If it is worth it, you do it. If it is not worth it, don't do it. But by the way, what are worthy purposes? Worthy purposes are things that you do, things that I do, things that we do to make this world a better place for all. Always go for gold, because gold is a worthy purpose. Go forth and prosper.